right? So now this is the frequency response and power output. This is the bandwidth, you can say. This is the bandwidth for mode 1. So mode 2, this is the bandwidth. How to find this bandwidth means, so we are taking the maximum power and half power points. Suppose maximum, suppose I have the 380 milliwatts is the maximum. From that we are taking the half power point. So 380 by half means it around 190 milliwatts. So 190 milliwatts taking 1 point. So right side also upper and lower half power points. So this is the half power points. So the bandwidth, that is the bandwidth of the mode. Okay, first mode maybe bandwidth is more. Next to second mode, so maybe less, and third mode very less. Bandwidth is very less. Okay, so please note down this. These two graphs you can know better. So here as first mode, there is a major one, minimum mode for dominant, you can say dominant mode. So minimum mode to form the electron bunches is 1 3/4 mode. So here power also more. So next mode, so power is somewhat less compared to first one. So from third mode, so somewhat less, and fourth mode, maybe it will decrease. Okay, so the bandwidth also more in the first mode, the dominant mode, right? So this mode of operation, it depends upon the repeller voltage of the reflex klystron. Repeller voltage of the reflex klystron, right? So this is the operation of reflex klystron. So reflex klystron having only single cavity. So here also there is velocity modulation takes place and current modulation also takes place. So here instead of second cavity we are having the repeller. So repeller having negative charge. So the electrons is coming to from the buncher cavity is repelled by the repeller. So then move towards the cavity. So in return journey there is a possibility of to form the electron bunches. So this electron bunch formation is all depends upon the repeller voltage. It means for all repeller voltages, so we are not getting the output. Only specific repeller voltage only. So the electron bunches are going to takes place. That means at that point only, so we are getting the output power. We are getting the output power. That means that is called as the mode of operation. Okay, so that mode of operation depends upon the repeller voltage. So the minimum mode is 1 3/4 mode. That means you need it required 1 3/4 cycles to form the electron bunch that we can see as already in our what is called Applegate diagram. Okay, that also you need to draw. So for explanation, you can explain by using Applegate diagram, and also you can draw this output power and you can show that the modes of operation is depends upon the repeller voltage, and that above figure is shows the bandwidth, the range. So the range of where that is called bandwidth, the range where it will act as a oscillator. The range is more at the dominant mode, so it will reduce, decreasing. So depends upon the repeller voltage, and power levels also more. How you can find out that tuning range? You can call as a bandwidth, or you can say tuning range. The tuning range is we can take from the half power points of this output power, half power points, maximum half power points. Here you can suppose 380 is the maximum power. So half power point means 380 by half, that is you can say 190. This is the bandwidth. That is tuning range. You can say tuning range. Okay, that is more. So in case of first one, dominant mode, the second mode is less, third mode is very less. Okay, so these three you can draw the diagram of your this reflex klystron and explain the operation based on the Applegate diagram and this output power. Okay, so this graph I think you're going to see in your laboratory. So reflex klystron characteristics means we are going to see what is the different modes we are getting in our reflex klystron. So what is the power levels and what is the tuning range of this one that you're going to see in our laboratory, that is called as the reflex klystron characteristics. That it indicates, so the mode of operation depends upon the repeller voltage. For all the voltages, we are not getting the output, only specific repeller voltage only we are going to get the output. So that is called as the mode of reflex klystron. So that mode will decide what is the power and what is the tuning range. I think, is it clear? Anyone, please? Please speak. Please, yes or no?
Clear, sir.
All right. So, Bhavan and Pranit, you do one thing. Next class, so make the people into 3 batches. Total 60 members. So 3 batches, 20, 20, 20. So first set of people, so they're going to explain about, so 2 cavity, make it 2 batches, not 3. So 2 batches. So first set of people, they're going to explain about 2 cavity klystron, and second set of people, they're going to explain about reflex klystron. So next class, Friday, I will call you randomly from first 30 members. So I will ask, explain about, so 2 cavity klystron means they need to explain about 2 cavity klystron by sharing their notes. Okay, so second batch also, so I will ask randomly, so they need to explain about reflex klystron. So all these 3, so by showing their slides only, I will give the permission to screen share. So they will need to show their screen. So maybe you can notes also, you can scan and show, or you have the already, I think I will share this one, that also you can take, and in the internet also you can take, that's not a problem. Okay, so you need to show and explain about these 2 things. So first set of people, 1 to up to 30 numbers means what is the roll number that we can check? First 30.
4B7, I think, sir. Serial number.
4B7, maybe up to 4B7. So you need to concentrate on 2 cavity klystron. So next batch, reflex klystron for next week. So later there will be swap. Okay, if anybody is failing to speak, or if anybody is absent, so I will put 0 for your internal marks. I will put 0 clearly, I will telling you. So you please share this information to remaining people, absentees also. If anyone is absent on that day and unable to speak on that topic, I will put 0 for them for mid 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That you please inform them. I don't know if people are listening or not. I don't know what is happening other side of this coin like that. I don't know. Now I can see one thing. Now already I explained about what is the limitations of conventional tubes. My microwave frequencies is one topic. So second topic, what is the operation of 2 cavity klystron with Applegate diagram, that also I explained. And the third topic, so what is the reflex klystron? So what is the operation of reflex klystron? So is using Applegate diagram, and what is the power outputs, that also explained. So what is the mode of operation of reflex klystron? This comes under, so reflex klystron, the mode is depends, minimum cycles is 1 3/4 cycle, that is called as the mode, 1 3/4 mode. That is the minimum mode for the reflex klystron. This mode is depends upon the repeller voltage. Only specific repeller voltage only we are going to get the output power, that is called as the mode 1. Suppose mode 1 for one frequency range, and mode 2, mode 3 like that. That depends upon the repeller voltage. From that, so we can see what is the maximum power, what is the off power points. So based on that, we are going to calculate what is the tuning range in a specific mode, in a particular mode, that we can see. So in this case, okay. So now here one more topic is there. So analysis of this two cavity klystron and reflex analysis means already I explained last class. So we need to calculate. So what is the theoretical efficiency? So sometimes they will ask. So prove that the theoretical efficiency of two cavity klystron is 58.2%, and theoretical efficiency of so reflex klystron is 22.8%. That is the theoretical efficiency. So they may ask, prove that. So the theoretical efficiency of the two cavity klystron is 58.2%. So for this, already we discussed last class also. So first we need to calculate. So what is the velocity of electron after leaving the buncher cavity? That means, so already we are telling that there is a velocity modulation takes place. So in the gap of the buncher cavity, so the RF signal and electron beams interacted each other. So there may be variation of the electrons. So depending upon the RF voltage, that you can say where there is a velocity modulation. So due to velocity modulation, so after the leaving the buncher cavity, there is a variation of the velocity of electron. So that we are going to calculate first. So that is common for both two cavity klystron, so as well as our reflex klystron. Okay, so that we'll see first. So already that also I will shown in last class. So how to calculate that. So we will see today also. So first we need to calculate. So what is the equation for velocity modulation, or you can say, so that is V of T1. Already I told. So T naught is the time of the electron entering into the buncher cavity. You can see here. If you can take a two cavity klystron or reflex klystron. So the equation for velocity of electron by leaving the buncher cavity, that is same. We can take, so here, so this is the T naught and T1 is there. So T naught is the time entering into the electron entering into the buncher cavity. So T1 is the time at which electron leaves the buncher cavity. So in between that, in the gap of the buncher cavity, so there is a velocity modulation takes place. So now, so the gap is already we know there is a D is the width, that is the gap, the distance is D, and we can say time, tau transit time in the buncher cavity, that we can say tau is equal to, we can write D by V. So D by V. So now after leaving the buncher cavity, it means after the velocity modulation, now what is the velocity of electron? That already I am telling. So there is a increasing velocity because of a positive peak in the RF signal, decreasing velocity because of negative peak in the RF signal. It means, so one is the with increasing velocity, that travel with the maximum velocity. So another electron with the minimum velocity, the decreased velocity. So another electron with the previous velocity, whatever velocity the electron having. So before entering the buncher cavity, so it will travel with the same velocity. Now, so already I told there is a, three types of velocities: increasing velocity, decreasing velocity, and unchanged velocity. That we are going to see now. So what is the equation for the electron after the leaving the buncher cavity? That we can say V of T1, right? So the first we see that is common for both two cavity klystron and reflex klystron. So later we see, so what is the bunching parameter and what is the output current in each the case, then what is the output power. So once you know the power, output power, so then the efficiency is nothing but output power by the input power. So this is the thing to prove that the efficiency of the two cavity klystron is 58.2% and reflex klystron is 22.8%. So first step is, so we need to calculate, so what is the velocity of electron, so after leaving the buncher cavity, that we can say V of T1. So later we can see, so what is the output current in both the cases. So if you know the output current, so what is the output power? So once you know the output power, then what is the efficiency, that is output power by input power. Input power already we know that is DC power I naught into V naught. So V naught is the, so that is the voltage we apply into the cathode to generate the electron beam. I naught is the current. Okay, so this is the 4 steps we need to concentrate. So to calculate the efficiency of the reflex klystron as well as two cavity klystron. So now the first step, So the velocity of electron after leaving the Banchari cavity. So that is common for both the two cavity klystron and reflex klystron. So today we will see. So what is the equation for already I shared that one. Last class we discussed. So once again we will do today. Okay. So I think this is very important. Okay, I will do once again today. So this we need to evaluate. So evaluation of V of T, V of T1. How many people did this? How many people are gone through this? Anyone? Already told last class, you please go through this. How many? Anyone is gone through this? No? No one.
Sir, notes are not there in code now, sir.
This is not there.
No, sir. Only up to unit 2 it is there, sir.
Second. Just now I will share first. Later I will put. Please be in. Wait, I will share. So one more also. Okay, so I will to WhatsApp. Later I will put it in the code now. Right? So now we'll start first.
Okay, sir.
If you require, if you please download this. It will helpful you people. Okay. 1 second. Is it visible on screen? Please. More? Is it visible? Anyone,
Yes,
please?
sir.
Right. Now put heading. So analysis of mathematical analysis. The state is mathematical analysis of klystron. So we can use the first thing for both two cavity and reflex, both are same. Okay. So now we are telling there is a cavity here. So there is a cavity. So here you can draw your complete diagram. For your understanding purpose, I am drawing this. So here one more cavity. If you take this two cavity klystron. So here there is electrons of follow through this. So this is the T naught you can take. This is T1. So the gap, it is D. Gap is D. So here the anode, you can say electrons are moving from this anode, cathode, there is anode here. So here the velocity of electron is V naught. Okay. So after this, so here it's T1. So the velocity of electron is, So V of T1 after leaving the Buncher cavity, that we are going to calculate now. Okay. So first, what is the equation for the velocity of electron? Already we know. So there is a static energy and a kinetic energy. So static energy is equal to kinetic energy of the electron beam. The static energy we have that is E into V naught. So E into V naught, that is equal to, kinetic energy is of M into V naught square. Of M into V naught square. So from this we can write, the V naught, that is the velocity of electron. So V naught is equal to, this is the velocity of electron. So V naught is equal to, from the above equation, it is root 2 into E by M into capital V naught. So where capital V naught is the DC voltage. So this is capital V naught, that is the DC voltage. So applied to cathode, to generate the electron beam. So this you can write, this is equal to, you can write 0.593 into 10 power 6, root V naught, meter per second. So this is the velocity of electron. Okay, so before entering into the Buncher cavity, general one, velocity of electron. So before entering into the Buncher cavity. Okay, so now, we need to calculate here. So velocity of electron, that is V of T1, at T1. At T1 means, velocity at electron leaving from Buncher cavity. Right? So our aim is, we need to calculate this. So V of T1. Okay, V of T1. So velocity at T1. What is the T1? So T1 is the time at which electron leaves from the Buncher cavity. That means, after velocity modulation, we are telling that there is a variation of velocity of electron. So due to the RF signal. So we have the RF signal. Suppose, there is RF signal here. So there is a positive peak, negative peak, and reference one. So there is a variation of potential difference in the gap of the Buncher cavity. So based on the potential difference in the Buncher cavity, the electrons is experienced with the different velocities. So that we can see. So for that purpose, we can say first here is the Vs. So Vs is this is the applied voltage, V1 sin omega t. So V1 sin omega t. So this is the RF signal. This is our RF signal. So this is for the amplification purpose. So V1 sin omega t. So where, V1 is the amplitude. So where, V1 is very, very less than, capital V naught. V1 is the RF signal amplitude is very, very small. So V naught is our DC voltage. So we are applying at the cathode to form the electron bunch. So this is the first one. So now already we know the transit time. So the transit time in the gap of the Buncher cavity, I'm writing here. So the transit time of cavity gap, that we can say tau. So what is the time? Time is nothing but distance by velocity. So distance by velocity. So you can write d by v naught. So what is the time? Transit time tau. So tau it is, you can write, this is also T1 minus T naught. So T1 minus T naught is equal to d by v naught in the gap of the Buncher cavity. So in that Buncher cavity gap, so due to the variation of the electric field to the RF signal, so it will experience the velocity modulation. So first we need to find out So what is the voltage, average voltage? So in the gap of the buncher cavity, so due to our RF signal. So that need to find out first V average. So to find out our V of T1, first we need to find out, so what is the potential, or what is the voltage, average voltage, so in the gap of the buncher cavity, so due to this RF signal, that you can write. So V average, that is called the average voltage in the gap of the cavity, is the average voltage, in the gap of cavity. So that we can write, so V average is equal to 1 by tau integral T0 to T1. So our RF signal is, so V1 sin